going to be the end of the Rimp Beast, exactly what I had feared. And now, because of that card move, it's going to end the Rimp from the last stand. So now it's again back to the situation of this mech versus plant backliner, except this time it's a mid laner, and it's again going to be pretty much the same outcome, and I don't think he can do anything about that. So this means that Hitansh Purse, congratulations, you are our not regional winner. You are not only qualified for the 2nd of April, but uh, you are also winning the prize of 6 AXS. Can we get a round of applause? I will get a round of applause from my side, but I expect everyone is give a big kudos to Sparking Flame for trying to come back with a different sort of strategy. It could have worked out, but in the end of the day, at the end of the day, it pretty much was very similar result. A clean sweep from Hitansh. Congratulations to you. You a well-deserved win, in my opinion. I hope you take a good rest and be prepared for the 2nd of April, because that, my friend, is going to be a long match. Okay, let us quickly move on to the next leg of this regional finals, which should be the South. Let me quickly look at whether the players are ready or not. So let me just quickly ask them. In the meantime, if Mr. Producer could go switch to the schedule, so that way we could see the brackets. In the meantime, I will be communicating with the players so that we know whether they're ready or not. Thank you so much. Next on our South region finalists is Tirumal from Geo's Army versus Prashant 96. Uh, Let us quickly look at Prashant 96. I think he is also ready. In the event that the player is not ready, we can move to the next leg and make sure that okay, never mind. Prashant 96 is ready. So I'm going to ask him to coordinate with his opponent so that the games can be played. Right? Looks good. Let us check the games if the players are ready. Yes, looks like it. We have both our players from the South region. The South region finalist is Tirumul from Geo's Army and Prashant 96. Both the opponents are ready, so we will quickly wait for the matches to start. And in the meantime, let us also look at the fact that we had an amazing upset from yesterday. I was pretty much expecting Pratap to win the games, but at the last moment, it became a 1-2 point score against Pratap. So it was a serious upset, and we hope that there is a bright future for our player, which is Prasant 96. So if we can, it's just a matter of wait before we can see the first game out of the best of 5. And in the meantime, let us once again a brief refresher of the giveaway. So for the giveaway, you have to number 1 join our Discord server, which is G Donkey Guild. Number 2 is follow our Twitter, and number 3 is our retweet our tweet about basically the NFS shoe that we are giving away. And if you participate in that, you will be enrolled in a raffle where hopefully we'll win either the NFT or the shoe itself, which is which is really like I'm super excited to see who finally gets to win the giveaway. And once again, the total prize pool is 57 AXS, of which the regional winners will get 6 AXS each, of which we already saw one of our winners, basically. And I would like to personally congratulate him. So, Hitansh, congratulations to you. And we are now waiting for the next players to be ready. There is naturally there is some brief delay for the spectators, and as we wait for it, the winners who will be crowned as regional winners for today from north, south, east, and west will not only get that 6 AXs, but they will also participate on the 2nd of April, which will be a round robin series format, a best of 5. So that means that our 4 players will compete with their 3 counterparts and the 3 opponents, basically. So the North will fight it out with South, East, and West, and so on and so forth in a best of 5 series battle. And the maximum player and the player with the maximum point definitely will get that 9 AXs and will be crowned the king of Axie Youth. I haven't said the name, but I'm just saying if there is a title of Axie Youth region, the overall winner should be like a king of Axie Youth or something like that. So yes, let's quickly look at the status of the game if there is any possible. We should be quickly getting a match right now. There might be some brief delay. So, if Mr. Producer, if you could kindly switch to the schedule that the viewers could watch, and let us see if the games are finally live. Mr. Yeah, I think it's live. All right, excellent. Great. So we don't need to switch to any other view. We are quickly going to run down through the axes. We have a backliner, Crimson Water, Cockatiddle Dew, Scale Dart, and Upstream Swim. I still make that mistake, but that's okay. Crimson Water, Acrobatic, Scarab Curse, and Tail Slap. And the frontliner has a Piercing Sound, Put in Stab, Bug Splat, and Cattail Slap. On the other end, we have the plant with it's a very typical plant with a bug part, which is the Vegetal Bite, the Disguise, an October Treat, and Carrot Hammer. A Rimp with Nutcrack, Ivory Stab, Single Combat, and Nut Throw. And a backliner, Kotaro Bite, Tiny Catapult, Bulwark, and Tiny Swing. Okay, my opinion is that this beast is way better than the previous beast, Rimp rather, that we got to see, especially because of the fact that the single combat not only guarantees a critical strike, but also this Ivory Stab will also ensure that, um, along with that extra damage, he's going to get back his energy. So it's essentially free energy back on that card, but at the cost of waiting for an extra round. And the Bulwark is also something extraordinary, especially the fact that if you can manage to reflect that 40% melee damage, then strong melee attacks will be reflected back at the cost of shield. So, like, there is 80 shield on top of this reflection. So, if a very offensive card is being used, which is melee, then this Bulwark is going to turn the tides of the game, hopefully, especially a double Bulwark. So Kotaro Bite, a Tiny Catapult, a Bulwark, and Tiny Swing. We're already starting the game. Hopefully, there should not be. There is a lot. Okay, okay. We are looking at round 5. Um, are we looking at a glitch? Hello. I'm not so sure what exactly happened. I'm going to quickly ask. Um, change lineup. Excuse me, Mr. Producer. If we could switch to the BRB and look. We need to look into some internal matters because we are not sure what's exactly going on.
we instill a desire amongst gamers to be a part of a prestigious and the most competitive guild in the world. We bridge the gap between companies and meaningful charity by educating the underprivileged to make use of these games, providing them with a sustainable source of income. We are here to provide easy access to metaverses in all corners of the world. NFTs have now become a mainstream phenomenon, and blockchain games have given birth to metaverses. Gamers for the first time can play games and earn digital currencies, proving to the world that gaming is an acquired skill just like music, sports, and art. With G-Donkey, gamers can play with high-cost NFT assets for free. They share a small profit with the guild. G-Donkey is a decentralized, autonomous organization where its token holders drive the direction of the guild while they stake and earn rewards. Our community of gamers decides which games they want to play. We partner with these games to participate in their IDOs and get early access to purchase their assets, and in return, we provide key insights and develop the content and economies of these games. Being an active part of the community is incentivized with a level-up rewards program for players. With esports at our core, we instill a desire amongst gamers to be a part of a prestigious and the most competitive guild in the world. We bridge the gap between companies and meaningful charity by educating the underprivileged to make use of these games, providing them with a sustainable source of income. We are here to provide easy access to metaverses in all corners of the world.
Yeah. Mr. Parisa, are we on air? Okay, cool. So we had some technical issues regarding the axes. So looks like they have solved it amongst themselves. I'm not sure if we are looking at the first game or the second game. However, let us just look at the current lineup, which is the bird, rimp, and the plant. And already you can see that one of the axes is pretty much down. Next up is the tail slap, and the Scarab heal. So now it's a 2v2 situation. Looking at everything again, another attack. I think there was one overkill with that card. So now the bird is going to use all his attacks on that aqua, and that's going to be a last stand. And there you go. That double attack buff ensured that the last stand does not sustain any longer. But that aqua is pretty much down. That bird, I don't think there is anything that you can do about it. So now Prasa 96 clearly won at least one of the games. Let's see if there's any more further games. We quickly confirm with Prasa 96. Let us wait for, I think the other games are done. So let us quickly have a look through the games. Jayesh, not Jayesh, of course, Prasad 96. So let's give us some time. Yeah, I think the games are done and dusted. So let us just quickly go through the replays, I guess. That way we can look at everything that went down, because I cannot possibly see what's going on. I think there is a clean sweep, but let's have a look at all the games, shall we? So let's quickly close the game and just look at the second one. All right. So, Mr. Producer, I'm quickly switching back to the game. All right. A very similar lineup, and we're looking at a vegetable bite, double disguise, and a pumpkin. Piranha. So the backliner is pretty much trying to get hold of the plant axie, and we are looking at one plant axie going down, one last stand, and there you go, a 3v2 situation. And tail slap with a piranha, double tail slap actually with a piranha, and following up with an acrobatic. So now we are looking at a 2v2 situation. A piranha attack with a scarab anti-heal. So now we have another last stand on that rim. The bird is gonna do something about this, but it's not going to be enough. But well, at least it's a last stand. But things are not going to look too great for the bird. I expect that Aqua, because he has the speed buff, is not able to do any. The bird is unable to do anything, and that means that the first game goes to Prasan. And similarly, we're going to look at the other games, which is game number 2. And I pretty much believe that was the last game. So let me quickly look at the last game. All right. So it's pretty much the same lineup, nothing different this time. Again, the same cards have been used. I pretty much expect that if the same cards are used or the same strategies has been used, then Prasan 96 has pretty much won by a clean sweep. But let us see if there is any upset going on. Another game, another last stand from the plant. A double tail slap. Yeah, this game is pretty much a repeat of the game itself, like we have seen like last time. So I kind of believe that I might be looking at the wrong replay. So let us quickly, I probably might have clicked on the same replay because we have already seen that game happening live. So let me just ensure that the last game also is as we should expect. All right. Yes, this is. I think we missed out on the last one because of the issue that we had to take care of. So now Piranha, a double attack, and an upstream swim. A not a very clean kill on that plant that pretty much did not have any shield up. So now it's a 3v2 situation with two axes versus with the plant. Aqua pretty much does not have any advantage on the plant, but still it uses all of its cards to take care of that plant. And now we have all the cards being dealt on that beast basically, and very easily we're looking at a dead rim. But now it's a bird that's left, and uh, if there is anything that could be done, then the bird has to miraculously win this fight. But now this time the Piranha Aqua again has his speed up, so there is no way that the bird can do anything about this. And now that is in the last stand, there is simply no way out for him. So we have our second, which is the regional South regional winner, which is Prasan 96. Congratulations, you clearly deserve this win. And no, you do not need to play the other two matches because we have clearly won in the best of five series. You not only have won the 6 AXS, but you go on to continue to participate on April 2nd, which is the main stage event. So congratulations, big kudos to you. And also thank you to the opponent for playing with the right axes. There was some issue going on, so that has been quickly resolved. So moving on to the next leg, it is the north and south. So naturally, that now it comes the east. So best of the east. I am representing east. Let's get some good games. So let us going. I'm going to talk with the players. So if Mr. Producer, if you could quickly switch to the bracket schedules, that way we can show all the audiences, all the players that are going to play today, which is for this lineup, we have Sigma versus Sparking Flame Revenant. I'm quickly going to ask Sigma and Sparking Flame Revenant to play each other. So are we still on air? Okay, we are in schedule. Okay. No, as in I'm audible on stream, right? Or okay. All right. So Sigma is ready. I am not sure about his opponent, so I'm quickly going to make sure if he is ready or not. Should be ready. He did say he would be ready because it's 4:45 and we have asked all the players to be to be ready at 4 o'clock. In case there is any issue, we could go to the next segment, which is the West. But we want to make sure that the brackets are done in an orderly manner. It makes sense that way. However, there's not going to be any harm either way. So in that case, do you think it is possible to have a rundown of the ads for a couple of minutes, maybe 5 or 6 minutes? Actually, what we could do is if we can get on call with the winner of winner, which is Prasan 96. Is Prasan 96 with us on stream? He unfortunately is not. So I guess not too eager to talk. I'm not sure, but Prasad, if you are on stream on the audience, we would definitely love to hear about your opinions on the win. So definitely join our G Donkey Guild and talk with us on the youth final support. But however, it looks like Sparking Frame Revenant is ready. So let's quickly ask him to ready up with him. Okay. Okay, we have Prasan 96 with us. Prasan, can you unmute your mic so we can all hear you say hello? Yes, Prasad 96 is with us, but currently he is muted, and I have made sure that he is not disabled from speaking. So as and when he is ready, we will be happy to hear about his thoughts about his win. And for your information, if our North Regional winner would also like to talk about his win, he's most definitely welcome to talk about it. However, he did say that he is currently outside, so we naturally respect the fact that it's not a very feasible situation for him to talk about his win. Maybe it would have been a better situation if he was playing from his home. So yeah, that is one thing. In the meantime, let me quickly look at if the games are ready. The players are still not. The games are still not ready for spectating, but both the players are online, which is great. So, Prasant, feel free to let us know if you would like to talk about anything that you would like to say. And yes, let's see. So, we have two more games left, the East Regional Finals and the West Regional Finals. So, we are almost at the last leg of the finals. And once again, I would like to thank G Donkey Guild with collaboration with Esports Collective or ESC, as you may have noticed, and Crypto Unified for volunteering into this collabing with us to make this a grand success. Definitely, it is a first for every one of us, and there's definitely a lot of things that we have learned, even as fans of the game and enthusiasts of Axie Infinity. So we look forward to the next iteration with a probably a grander scale. However, we all would also like to thank the fans who have been supporting throughout the entire ordeal for not only being patient with us, but to also make sure that the integrity of the tournament stays throughout the game. We definitely appreciated all the feedbacks that we have received throughout the entire 5 days of dueling battle. And next time, we will make sure that all the problems or grievances that we may have been faced is no longer the case. So, speaking of the tournament, again, the I'm sorry. Okay, fine, Mr. Producer. So, my bad. So, once again, the regional winners so far, Hitansh Persh, and this time Prasan 96 from North region and the South region. They are the winners of those respective regions, and they are now the winner of 6 AXS. And this is definitely a win big or go home situation. So, the players will have to play their E game and make sure that they at least try to cinch this regional win. Uh, Going forward, which they will be able to participate on April 2nd, which will be a main stage event, which will again be a best of five in a round robin format. And speaking of which, we now have Sigma and Revenant. Let us quickly go into the game. I will drink some water. I am very excited. I'm very thirsty. So, yes, let us await how things are going to pan out. Okay, after a refreshing drink of water, we are now going to announce or have a rundown of all the axes. So we have a Kotaro Bite, a Tiny Catapult, a Bulwark, and a Tiny Swing. Then we have a Crimson Water, an Acrobatic, a Bug Splat, and a Tail Slap. And a Piercing Sound, Wooden Stab, a Bug Splat, and a Cattail Slap. On the other end, we have Sigma with his Vegetal Bite, Prickly Trap, October Treat, and Carrot Hammer. Chomp, Mystic Crush, Sticky Goo, Allergic Reaction. So it's a Termi. And Death Mark, Acrobatic, Heroic Reward, and Hair Dagger. So I have I'm a little bit towards this Termi build, but anything can happen because there is also a Bulwark which has shown a lot of promise in the current meta. So it's all just a matter of time before we find out what happens and how the battle unfolds. And once again, this is a very huge game at stake. This is not a game that should be taken too lightly because one loss and like three losses and you are simply going home with nothing. So keeping that in mind, I hope the players are very careful, are very much aware of the situation, and uh, they have to anticipate the very moves that can help go ahead to the game. I'm predicting that this game might not be a clean sweep. It might be a 3-1. Now, who will get a 3-1 is something that I cannot predict. It could be a 1-3, it could be a 3-1, it could be a 3-0. A 3-0 is something that we have seen today, which is a clean sweep, pretty much because of the fact that the lineups are pretty much the same. There is no shuffling between the axes. Maybe a couple of positions being changed here or there, but the strategies remain the same. The cards, the order of attack, and the priority to kill or to take down the axes remain the same. So there hasn't been much of a difference. The backstab takes care. This game has no backstab, in my opinion. So we are going to look at which one will go down first. Will it be the plant with the carrot and pumpkin, or will it be the mech with the cattail and the bug splat and the wooden arm? So with the wooden staff. So speaking of which, we are finally we now have the fortune of looking at the match, and it looks like we are dealing some decent damage, and the plant is not looking too great. However, it does survive enough to deal that cactus damage. Next round is still on us. I'm not sure if the cards are being dealt. So we just have to wait it out and see what is actually going on. Uh, in my opinion, the if the mech is able to deal this much amount of damage because this mech is way ahead in terms of speed, then there is nothing much the cactus can do except just use the October treat, which will just be a very defensive move from the side of Sigma. However, I'm still unaware of what is exactly going on. If the game does bug out on us, no, it did not actually, because there was a brief delay going on. But the backliner took care of that mech, and now we have a 2v2 situation. The mid laner is pretty much taken down the plant, and now we have a Termi, which opens up the Termi to become the next threat. However, it should not be much of a issue for Sigma, who has been who has been playing this particular build very smoothly throughout the tournament, in my opinion, and should not be much of a hassle unless there is some sort of an upset going on, in my opinion. However, I'm yet to see what the backliners can do in this regard. So a lot of decision is going on, as I might expect. There's going to be a lot of thought process behind every move. A bug splat, a mystic rush, followed by a Kotaro bite. So now there is a gain energy. Interestingly, so now there is a difference of one energy and two. we have an allergic reaction, sticky goo from the Termi, but the Termi also is third in the series of sequence of attack. But the backliner definitely has the first move advantage. So we just need to find out what the backliner is about to do. Typically, the backliner does not have a lot of cards to deal with. It's just two cards, a death mark and a zero card. So maybe perhaps it the term is forced to use cards to protect itself and also use sticky goo to cast the basically the stun basically. So I'm not sure if at this point the game is bugged, because generally what happens is that we usually do not see such a huge delay between each and every turn, and it is just round four. And what I can anticipate is that either the players are playing very seriously and thinking the every move, trying to read the minds of the players, or it could just be a simple bug for all you know. So we're just going to wait and watch as to what exactly is going on. And if I run out of words to even say anything, then I'm pretty much going to believe that it is perhaps a bug after all. So I'm going to wait for like 10 more seconds, and if nothing happens, then I truly believe it is a bug that has happened, that has been plaguing us since yesterday, because we have no idea what's exactly causing this bug. We have seen some Blood Moon Curse, some games reaching the Blood Moon Curse, and there hasn't been any bug at all. So without further ado, I think we truly have this bug. I have nothing much to say because I cannot see any progress going on, unfortunately. So I have to exit the battle. I'm going to go through the ordeal of looking at the lineups, and let us quickly look at the teams if it has already been over. Let us quickly watch the video or the replay, if you mind. So let's quickly go through the replay where we got stuck in the first place. So we are going to fast forward through round 1, 2, 3, and 4. Right. So we had the Mystic Rush and the Kotaro, and now we are going to look at the rest of the match as it unfolds. So allergic reaction, a chain stomp, and a bite. So now it's a 2v1 situation. We have to see what exactly happens. Because of this, this is the exact thing that I was anticipating. This Bulwark is dealing so much return damage. It's doing a lot of. Not only is it being offensive because of the damage return, but it is also protecting itself with that huge shield. So now we're looking at the Termi. I'm not sure if the Termi is going to is dead. Of course, it has survived, but I'm not sure what happens next. Will the Termi survive this onslaught? I don't think so. It does not. It goes into last stand, so it's up to the backstabber to do something about the reptile, but I don't think it has much good news. Let's see. It's going to deal some damage and the 20, but we have the backstabber. But look at that huge amount of shield. It literally damaged itself, and unfortunately, because of the last stand, Sigma is behind this game, and his opponent got the better of him. We quickly look at the games. If it is still up, if it is not up, we are forced to look at the replays. Unfortunately, And by the way, this is a best of five, so players must need to win with a score of three. It could be a 3-1, it could be a 3-2, but it has to be a three. So now let us quickly wait for the games. I pretty much believe that the games are done and dusted. I'm not sure, but let me just look through the games. The players are not live, so I need to speak with the players if they are ready or not. Down. Okay. Okay, that's not okay. Never mind. We are finally ready again with the next match, hopefully. And I'm going to make sure that this is the second game, I guess. So yes, this is indeed the second game. Uh, are we looking at some changes into the axes? I think I'm looking at some changes from Sigma definitely because we now have a different backliner. The bulwark is still the same. However, I'm not sure as to if there's going to be any significant advantage because of that change in Axie. But that is exactly the reason why players are suggested to sign up with five axes. So that way, if you do the math, then there are 60 possible strategies that can be done. Of course, naturally, not all of the strategies are in the meta. So I'm hoping that the Sigma has something up his sleeve. Maybe we can look at a 1-1-1, a tie, and that will essentially convert the best of five into a best of three. So running down through the axes once again, we have a Kotaro Bite, which will gain one axis if it is faster than the axis that it's attacking. Tiny Catapult, which will reflect damage back at the attacker. So this Tiny Catapult and Bulwark are all reflect spells that is exactly the reason why it is such a it is such a interesting combo where you just need to have a shield up, an attack speed up, and you are just simply reflecting back the damage. This Tiny Catapult is definitely a very offensive reflect card as well, and the Bulwark being a very defensive reflect card, but it does reflect nonetheless. And now we have a tiny swing. And of course, I'm also forgetting the fact that Tiny Catapult does reflect the range damage, which is why that hair card, the carrot card, literally destroyed the Axie backliner last time for Sigma, causing the loss. So Tiny Catapult and Bulwark together make sure that none of the cards can spare you from not getting that reflection. And let's moving onwards to the midliner is that Crimson Water, an acrobatic, a bug splat, and a tail slap, which is a zero axis, zero energy card. My apologies. And then we have a piercing sound, a wooden stab, a bug splat, and a cattail slap. So this is a very standard Axie lineup. This one is something. I mean, basically all of the Axie lineups are very standard, very much part of the meta. But considering the lineups that will help them win the game, I feel like this is something up Reverence's sleeve. And now looking at Sigma's lineup is the Vegetable Bite, the Prickly Trap, the October Treat, and the Carrot Hammer. And then followed up by the Termi, which is the Chomp, Mystic Rush, Sticky Goo, and Allergic Reaction. And lastly, the newest member, which is another Chomp, a Cockadoo Do, a Nile Strike, and an Allergic Reaction. The Nile Strike could probably change the tide of the game with along with the Cockadoo Do, which will apply not only an attack buff, but the Nile Strike will also debuff the speed of the axes. And looking into the game, we already have our Mystic Rush going in. Very minor damage, but it has done the job of not only dealing free speed debuff, but Sigma is pretty much looking to save his first round of energy, which is 3. Looking forward, it will turn into 5, and next we just need to see what happens next. And it is kind of unfortunate that we are having significant issues for reasons unknown. But I'm hopeful that in the future the game does not bug out. as it is happening right now. So you have a cockatiel 2 coming from the backliner, so that means a free attack, free attack buff, yes. And again, a very passive play from Sigma. He is probably looking to increase his buff for the backliner, perhaps uh, cast some debuffs on the other his opponent axes, but definitely he has way more energy at this point. The only worrying issue is the fact that once the plant goes down, it is only going to be a matter of time that you're going to run out of all the possibilities that you have. But that's a beautiful shield from the from the Axie, the pumpkin and the carrot. Actually, it's a double carrot, as you can see. So the plant Axie survives the onslaught from Revenant's axes, and we only can see what will happen. Right now, I can see that there is only a prickly trap, which probably is not worth using at all, because with this amount of energy, with this amount of HP, I don't think it is very wise to use that card only for it to go to waste. So as we wait for the next round of cards to be dealt, what I can feel is that there could be an upset going on for Sigma, as in the Sigma could probably cinch this game. I have some partiality, I guess, because of the games that I've seen from yesterday, but otherwise, Revenant is looking pretty strong here with a clean win from the last game. So if it means that Revenant is going to win the current lineup, that means it is going to be really hard for Sigma to do anything about it. And I have a bad feeling that again we are having a bug going on. So without further ado, let me quickly switch to the game and find out if the game has ended already. I do not think that is the case, because there is no result showing up. However, yes, there it is. That seems to be the case. We have definitely bugged out on this game, which is really unfortunate. There's nothing that we can do about it. So yes, again, we are going to resort to looking at the second game's replay. Okay, let's look at the second game. Again, we have to go back to round 4 and look at how everything is going. All right. So that chomp is coming up. So now we are in a 2v2 situation in round 5. Very much similar to what we have seen last match, except that the axes are different for Sigma. A cockatiel at the allergic reaction is going to deal quite some damage to this midliner, but now this is where the backliner is starting to feel dangerous. With the immense 264 shield, it's going to reflect so much damage that it's going to literally, the Axie is simply just killing itself. But he simply survived with 6 HP, but not for long. And now the battle of the two backliners, there isn't much that I can expect, but now it's going simply reflecting that damage back. But that's a critical from coming from Sigma's backliner. But I don't think there is much that can be done, especially with the fact that the speed doesn't matter. Like if even if you use like melee or range damage, it's simply dealing back that damage, and it is so close. Okay, I take back my words. It's, oh my God, it was so close. That was a really close game. Wow. I had to keep taking back my words. I was thinking, okay, maybe Sigma will win this one, but then it is an upset upon another upset. Like, wow, that is something like I did not anticipate that. So unfortunately, that means Sigma is down against his opponent 2-0, and we only need to look at the final game, which will be the which is basically the match point, final match point for Revenant, basically. So let us quickly go through the game and let's run down through what exactly happened. All right. So the same lineup is here. If that is the case, I really do not know if we can expect much from this lineup. But then I think like this bulwark and what should I call the other one, the tiny catapult, is what has really gotten um, the advantage over Sigma's Axie lineup, especially with that huge damage reflection that we see from coming from that reptile. So we're quickly running down through things. The plant is pretty much at below 50 HP, but oh, that's so the dust required one more extra card to take care of that damage. So that's kind of unfortunate, but it's again back to a 2v2 situation, a bug splat and a cacti slap. So that's a stun coming from that Turby bug. Once again, the last stand is coming up on the mid laner, and now the backliner Reptile is starting to show its aggression once again. And again, just simply by putting up its shield, it's simply reflecting that damage. I mean, this is, if not, is again one of the most broken metas, if I would call it that way. Like, he simply has to be. I'm not sure because we have all the same lineups. I've literally clicked on the last game, so there cannot be much of a difference after the last game, I feel. And we already have received some confirmation that the games are pretty much more or less the same. So yeah, I mean, we could definitely verify that. However, it's exactly the same, isn't it? However, I did make sure that we are looking at all the three replays. Maybe the issue is that when I was clicking on the replay, it was not lining up properly. That is also another glitch, I believe, because we have three of the report results with a clean sweep from Revenant. So I'm not sure why it exactly happened. So I guess we can run down through the other replay. It should not really hurt that much, right? But okay. I think we have already seen this game as well. So perhaps it's the first game that had bugged out on us, in my opinion. So let us look at the first game. We're extremely sorry about this issue that has been happening with us, but this issue cannot be helped. But yeah, the lineup is pretty much the same, so I cannot expect the difference to be that much of a issue, because especially with the fact that it is pretty clear that it has been a clean sweep for Revenant. There isn't much point, but we can quickly go through the games. Should not be an issue. So I'm going to double the times because we have already seen through the game. Otherwise, and there isn't much input for me to say. And I would have my final thoughts is that the backliner reptile is what sealed the game for Revenant because of the fact that he whatever attack the Sigma's cards are dealing or axes are dealing, it is simply just returning that damage back to him, and there's no way possible. There's no way out for Sigma's axes to do anything otherwise. So a big congratulations to Revenant from Sparky Flames Guild. Uh, Commiserations to Sigma. Big hats off for reaching to the regional finals so far. Unfortunately, the journey ends here. But for Revenant, you're the next candidate that has won 6 AXS, and not only that, you are the regional winner of the East region, and you are going to represent the East region at the main stage, which is
Thank
on
you
the
so much to OP Life. Thank you so much. I'm here.
You are here. So, how do you feel about your opponent? Thank you so much for stopping by, actually. We wanted to speak with at least one player who has won this regional finals, but naturally, the North player had said that he was outside while he was playing. So, thank you for being with us. What do you think about Sigma's lineup? And how do you think? Do you think that your lineup is broken? How much do you think is it broken? If you could reply, Reverend, if you could answer, if you're there. I think we have to move on because we are not getting a reply. But thank you so much for tuning in for the little while. We really appreciate your. We really appreciate that you stopped by for the little while that you had. So we now are going to the last leg of this tournament, which is the West, if I'm correct. And from the West, we have drum roll, please. We have Jayesh and AG Shiva. So we are quickly going to speak with them and make sure that they are ready for the games. So, Mr. Producer, if we could quickly switch back to the schedule to show the lineups of all the players. Okay, Jayesh is ready to go. We are only waiting for his opponents. So it's only a matter of time. Uh, okay, Jayesh has spoken with his opponent. It is a bit unfortunate that we are having this constant issue. There is nothing that we can really do about it. And I'm pretty sure that when there are 3 replays that are being watched, then um, when I'm clicking on that, it is going back to one of the previous replays, which is something a bit of an issue as we can understand. So yes, let's quickly make sure Shiva is Jayesh is live. Okay. So we are going back into the main stream. If Mr. Producer could go back to the game. So we have Jayesh from Axie GG versus Avisa Knights Shiva. If we go run down through the Axies, we have a Dark Swoop, an Egg Bomb, a Blackmail, and All Out Shot. Okay, and All Out Shot is definitely one of the most uh, broken cards. I feel even though it deals 30% of damage to itself, it that 110 damage for 0 energy is something that is definitely like very annoying for as a bird, as dealing with as a bird. So and now we have a mech, which is a piercing sound, an acrobatic, a heroic reward, and a hair dagger. Now moving on, we have the piercing sound, the wooden stab, the bug splat, and the cattail slap. On the other end, we have Shiva with piercing sound, wooden stab, bug splat, and a cattail slap, followed by a risky fish, a hero's pain, a scale dart, and a chitin jump. And finally, we have a blood taste, a prickly trap. Blood taste means a mosquito, of course, a clean scent with 0 energy, and a leak lake. All right. I have hopes that so far all the games have been clean sweep. There has been no way, despite changing of the Axie lineup that there has been no variations to the results whatsoever. It is 3-0, 3-0, 3-0. Perhaps this game could be a 3-0. Maybe we could see a 3-2. That would be exciting. But yeah, unless there is a huge change of Axie lineups, there couldn't be much variation to the games. So we are looking at the bird taking care of the midliner actually, which is pretty interesting. And that midliner has cleanly definitely taken care of that chitted jump midliner. So one of the backstabbers are gone. We are looking at a 3v2 situation. The bird is pretty much safe from the onslaught. Now have two plants. What will the backliner plant do? What will the frontliner plant do is all that we can anticipate and find out. But for now, expect the expect Jaish's plant to deal some decent damage unless and until there is much going on. Because all the cards that we see, only the Mosquito has a higher speed than Jaish's plant, followed by the frontliner, which has the slowest speed of all among all of them. So we are going to wait for a couple of minutes before we can anticipate what is going to happen. But we also have an all-out shot from the bird still ready, a hair dagger and heroic reward, and there's a double clean scent, which pretty much will debuff any sort of buff that has been applied, debuff that has been applied by Jesh, and a blood taste, so that can definitely heal up any damage that has been inflicted to this card. But looking at everything, I don't think there is any backstab at the moment, except a dark swoop. So the dark swoop will target the fastest enemy. So that definitely means the bird can attack the mosquito plant, basically. So I'm still unsure if it's a bug again. If it is a bug, we are going to wait for like a couple of extra seconds before we resort to looking at the replays. It's kind of unfortunate. I do not know why this is happening, but it is what it is. And we should probably go back and we just um quickly check through the players' results, or if anything. So, Jai, actually, I'm in the wrong area. Okay. All right. The battles are here. It looks like we already have one game down. So we could look at that replay. Unfortunately, we have to resort to looking at replays for today, I guess, because we are not fortunate today to look at the games as it is, unadulterated, live, and full of suspense. We are just going to have to look at the replays where we pretty much know the results at this point. But yeah, that is how it is, I guess, for today or this evening. And let me quickly switch to the game without any further delay. Yes, we are in the game. I have double X the speed of the game so that we can fast forward to the place we got glitched out again. All right, I think we missed out on this. So the mosquito has taken care of the plant. And now we're looking at the two plants. Who will survive? How will they survive? How will they win against the other is something that we need to see. And that's a critical damage coming from a plant, which is amazing considering it's a plant, it's not a beast. But then plants do have high morals, definitely. And wow, amazing. That last stand, it made sure before it dies or it knocks itself out, it takes care of that frontliner. However, that plant simply got an ace up its sleeve and simply took care of that bird. So now we're going to look at if the second game is live. And it looks like it is. So we'll simply go through that game once again. I'm not sure if it is the second or the third, but we already have some progress midway. The two axes are already dead, the frontliners, but now there has been a significant change in the lineup, of course. This is the last game, I believe. I'm not if this could be the last game, definitely, but if that is the case, we need to also look at the second game technically. So, wow, that mosquito plant could not deal that damage. And again, I think we are having another bug, which is really annoying. I'm not sure what can be done about this. I am really, we are extremely, extremely like out of words for this exact issue, but we really need to get this addressed somehow or the other. And let's again, we are extremely sorry, but we are forced to go back into the replay, without which we cannot see what's exactly going on. Hello, yes. I am not sure because we have bugged out on the games. Uh, Mr. Producer, yes. So that's why I'm going to play through all the games. I think this is also a clean sweep, but I'm not really sure. I need to refresh the results page. Yeah, on our end, we cannot really see anything showing up on the replay. So perhaps if we just open up the game and see if there is any progress going on. I'm not really sure otherwise. So let's see. Once again, from the audiences that have been supporting our tournament, we're extremely sorry about the issue that is going on. But this is from one of the previous games. We already saw one of the wins. But let's go back to one of the games and see what's going on. The game apparently is still live, so this one is probably the last game, especially with that lineup change and everything. So um, I just we are a bit in the dark as to which round is going on. However, looking at how Jayesh has played against stacked up against all the cards, it looks like it could be another close game. With again have a gravel ant from Jayesh, and this gravel ant could be one of the most annoying strategies that we've ever seen in the history of Axie Infinity. So we just need to look and hope and pray that the game does not bug out on us. But let us go and give a rundown of all the axes, which is the drain bite, the prickly trap, the clean scent, and numbing electrician, followed by a piercing sound, acrobatic, heroic reward, and the hair dagger. Last but not the least, it's a piercing sound, a wooden stab, a bug splat, and cattail slap. On the other end, we have a piercing sound, wooden stab, bug splat, and cattail slap. So just exact copy of the cards, followed by a risky fish, hero's bane, scale dart, a chitting jump, and lastly, a blood taste, mosquito part, prickly trap, a clean scent, and leakly. So, having said all of that, let us quickly anticipate. I have no doubt that the Gravelat is going to be one of the most annoying spells in the game. And unless there is something that Shiva can do about it, there is nothing that I can possibly expect much from this, but except torture. And we are also at the mercy of the game because I'm not even sure if the game is going to happen. Fortunately, it's going to happen. Good for us. Um, Carrot, Energy Destroy, and card, and then we have another Energy Destroy. So the there is no doubt that the Shiva has anticipated this and used all of his cards so that it doesn't go to waste. So the plants are already the aqua has dealt a critical damage, but the plant has made sure that it will not go down alone. So we are now in a 2v2 situation, and I'm expecting something the midliner or the backliner to open up the strategy of the numbing electrician on the gravel, and we already have a double numbing electrician, which is literally one of the most annoying cards to ever deal against unless you have any sort of range. There is nothing that you can simply do about it. So we're looking at the mech dealing some significant damage, and then a critical coming from the backliner plant. Now we are going to see if the mech survives or the mech does anything to the midliner. It does, and now we're going to see if the mosquito plant is going to do something. It did, but unfortunately, it wasn't enough to take care of that mech, and now we just have to sit and wait if we can see the next round, which is round five, I believe, or perhaps round six. I'm not sure at this point. Yes, it is round five, definitely. All right. At least we are going to be able to witness the end of at least one of the games. And oh, that's a critical coming from the mech. The mosquito plant takes care of the dust. Sorry, my bad. The mech, and now it's all down to the 1v1 situation. It's going to remove debuff twice. Now going to look at the leak. Critical coming from 114. It looks like numbing electrician still hasn't been used at the moment, but double mosquito attack, and then followed by a leak. Is it time to unleash the numbing electrician? It is time to unleash numbing electrician. Now all the melee attacks are going to be destroyed except he's either forced to just use the remove debuff. Nothing that can be done. But numbing electrician is also disabled for some time being, and we are going only need to see if the mosquito can do any damage. It's going to self heal. It's basically life stealing of his enemy's damage, and now it's going to be a huge fight between round 10. So we already have Blood Moon Curse, and unfortunately, I do not think there is anything that can be done about this. A double of 4 attack card, and then the Blood Moon Curse is going to simply kill Shiva's last Axie. So once again, we saw another Blood Moon game, and let us quickly check if that means that we have concluded all the games. We just want to make sure that we have witnessed all of the games because we're not sure at this point. The games have not updated. So let me just quickly go through the other players. Sparking Flame and Jayesh. I think AG Shiva could be looked up a little bit. For some reason, we cannot see the replays that have happened in the past. Perhaps it's the second replay, perhaps it's the third replay. I am not sure about that. But yeah, I think it's a 2-1 situation. Okay, that is really interesting. We definitely did lose out. The gravel ant definitely won against, but we clearly missed out on one of the games. But I think if we are live, then we should clearly catch on with the last game. I think because it's a 2-1. We will definitely look at the second match. However, for now, we are going to look at the live games. We are already at the end. We're already witnessing the round 1. We are again having a gravel ant. I think gravel ant is what Jace has been keeping up his sleeve. But I'm not sure why did the game restart. The round literally restarted upon us. Okay, never mind. The round 2. Basically, we just saw round 1 repeating itself, and then round 2 is happening. The plant quickly getting destroyed. Now we're looking at the chipped in part midliner, but already we are looking at numbing electrician. Already round 3 into the game. There is nothing that the Chitin can do except use its scale dart, and it's very much limited to what it can do. So he can no longer backstab anymore. That is a very cheeky move. And in a 3v2 situation, things are not looking too bright for Shiva's axes. One can only hope that um, Shiva can only hope that he can get rid of as many axes as possible. And now we're looking at another 2v2 situation. The the Aqua is already at a very low HP, so I'm not sure if there is anything that can be done to salvage the situation. If the chitin jump does happen, he must take care of that backliner. So in that case, the first, okay, the energy is destroyed, followed by a scale dart, but there is no backliner. There is nothing that has been done to deal with the backliner. Perhaps he has some reasons, which, as me as being the caster, I really don't have that insight. But I feel like there could have been a different move that could at least deal with the um, perhaps the backliner. But then the backliner is also a plant versus an aqua. It is not really the best combo to go against. So the best bet perhaps was to at least try and take down the mech. But we are having a very bad 2v1 situation where the leak didn't do anything to to take down the mech guards. And Jaish simply, if he wants to, he can simply sit put and do nothing and save up on his energy for the last moment. Because at this point, uh, the mosquito doesn't need to even use blood taste for whatever reason. And yeah, I think Jayesh is in a very comfortable situation right now, and we only need to anticipate what is going to happen. And if it is again the bug that is going on, then we are forced to again look at the replay. But till then, I'm hoping that the game will happen because yesterday we managed to look at the Blood Moon curses, which means we have seen way more rounds happening before the game gets blown. I'm clearly unsure as to why this happens, but it's kind of an unfortunate situation for us. So in this case, I'll just quickly go and check through the replay. Um, let's go to the battles quickly. All right. 2, 3, 7. I'm not clear. I'm not exactly in the clear here. Um, Let me just quickly run down through 94 AE and 02A. Yeah. So far, I can see that 3 games have already happened. That has confirmed that it's a 2-1. Let me quickly refresh the scoreboard and see if anything has happened otherwise. But I don't think anything has happened, and we are kind of in a deadlock where we cannot really confirm what has exactly happened because the game has clearly frozen in time. So we are quickly going to go back into the what should I call it, into a BRB screen, I feel, because we need to get into the bottom of this and see what has exactly happened. And after we have done investigating the issue, replays, because unfortunately, going into round 7 again, we are having technical issues where the game is not showing the rest of the replay. That is something that is beyond our control and that needs to be addressed. However, Mr. Producer, if we could quickly go back to the BRB before we announce the results of of this particular round. Okay. Okay, I think we are live. Okay, unfortunately, we are extremely sorry about the fact that the game is bugging out on us. We will definitely show the rest of the games, and hopefully, one of the games is also happening. But believe it or not, Shiva and Jaish are on round five. It's all down to the nail biting end. They are currently 2-2. Unfortunately, we missed out on those amazing games, but it is back to 2-2 where the last game decides it all. It's the decider match, and we are simply super excited to see how that goes. It's the best man that wins, the other man that goes home. And as for us, it's either we either get to witness it live happening or we go home. So it's all a matter of showing whatever's going on. But rest assured, we will also be showing the other games that we could not completely show because of a bug that is happening. And we will quickly get back and announce all the winners from all the regions. But for now, we have confirmed that Shiva and Jayesh are up by 2-2, and this is the decider game that is going on. And so far, it's looking pretty equal at this point. Again, with a 1v1 backliner. Will the gravel ant win or will the mosquito win? It's all down to this. So I hope that the game does not disappoint us. I do not want to jinx the game. And it's all coming down to a blood taste, a prickly trap, a clean scent, and a leak lay versus a drain bite, a prickly trap, a clean scent, and a numbing electrician. A very defensive clean scent from both the players. And now comes the numbing electrician. It is a critical. However, I'm not seeing that cards getting discarded or I mean disabled. I should say. If it is another one of those bugs, then we are extremely sorry, but we have to show the replays because there is nothing. It's not really possible for us to cast without anticipating what is exactly going on, and things have not been smooth. So we really apologize, even on the behalf of the mistake of the issue of the game itself. However, as long as the games are going, there hasn't been any issue except for us to witness or casting the game. So let me just quickly go through the game, to the results, and let me get back. We quickly reload through the games. Okay. So it looks like all the games are done, but unfortunately, we have to quickly recap through all the games. So, Mr. Prophecy, we are forced to do it this way. So for now, let's go through the first game, which I we have pretty much witnessed. We have pretty much witnessed the first couple of games almost till the end. However, for the sake of full disclosure of everyone that is watching the game, they deserve to know what exactly went down in all the games. So, without further ado, the first game. So the bird is taking care of the midliner, and as we have seen that first game happening, the cattail slap, and now we're looking at the double mosquito leak, followed by energy destruction, and then we were stuck at round four, in my opinion. So now let's go through that game again. Once again, we want to make sure that we do not miss out on all the games being broadcasted. So now the midliner is in the last stand, but we have, as we have seen, it takes down the frontliner without before it also goes down defeated. Now a double cactus just simply destroys that bird. Now we are going to go quickly through the second replay without any delay, which is number two. We're quickly loading the second game. Again, if you recall correctly, it was till round four that we have lost the lost all the information about the game. Very similar gameplay. We have seen this game also so far as it goes. So now we are looking at a very low HP mech, but dealing enough damage, and it still has a lot of shield up. But okay, one HP left. That wasn't enough. I don't think uh, the player has anticipated that one HP survival. But anyhow, it's now back to 1v1 situation. A Piranha Aqua versus a Mosquito Plant. Who will reign supreme is the question. A double cockatiel to attack. Now it's going to deal a critical damage. And now it's removing debuff and it's going to lifesteal off from its opponent. A very close game of HP swinging from one side to the other. A lot of decision went on between selection of the cards, but now he has decided that he will play very offensively. Another defensive mosquito lifesteal, a leak, and now it looks like it's going to be a really close call in the end, as I can expect. Another piranha attack with an upstream swim. Again, the spike cactus, and then the leak and the debuff. Very low HP. The aqua is in significant danger. It's 14 HP. It wasn't enough to close and seal the deal. But now the plant will take full advantage of that and will defeat the aqua. Very. It was a very close situation, but the mosquito lifesteal definitely sustained throughout the entire ordeal. Now we are going to look at the other games that we missed out on. So we have one and two. We have game number three. We had a 2-2 situation. So naturally, we kind of missed out on one of the very important matches that we could have actually streamed if the game was not bugging out. So game number three, folks. We are going to fast forward to round four because most of the games that we had suffered through was generally starting from round four. So the frontliners are pretty much down, and now we're looking at what the midliners and the backliners are going to do. And the mech has clearly taken care of the Axie, the midliner Axie. Now it's all down to that plant, and we are going to see what the plant can do to protect itself. That's a critical damage, and it will use the mosquito and the leak. That means it's again down to 1v1. The gravel ant still ready to be used. Pretty much one of the most broken and one of the most annoying cards to ever use against any of your opponents. So now we're looking at the cleans debuff, the double mosquito leak, followed by what is the numbing electrician, the gravel ant, once again disabling all the cards. Now there is nothing that the mosquito can do except just wait and anticipate. And now there's a double spike cactus. It's round 9. Shall we see a blood moon curse going on? Pretty much, I feel, because the plant has a lot of damage, and now it's going to self heal into the final round of 10, which will be the first round of blood moon curse. That's another crit coming from the gravel ant plant. And now we are in the first round of Blood Moon Curse, and we have definitely seen this match, but it's better to recap in a series. The Blood Moon Curse takes out that plant, mosquito plant, and seals the deal for the gravel ant plant. So it's a victory for Jayesh in that regards. Let's quickly go through the next game before okay. So now we're going to stream the game. All right. So we're going to fast forward once again because, as I had explained earlier, it was from round 4 that were having issue. A very early numbing electrician coming from the backliner onto the chitin. So now it was unable to use any of the melee attacks. Right. So this is the place where we completely missed out on what happened. And that's a 7 HP, almost surviving from what could have been a death. But the backliner takes care of the mid laner, and now we have a 2v1 situation where the mosquito has to do something to turn the tides of the game. We have a we have a we have a spiky cactus followed by leakly remove debuff. Also, a very defensive position coming from that mosquito plant, especially with the use of the clean scent. And now it's again down to the battle of the backliners. Graveland versus Mosquito. Who will reign supreme? Basically, we are simply looking at a lot of clean scent from both the sides, numbing electrician from both the sides, pretty much unable to do anything. As you can see, numbing electrician gets disabled, but it doesn't matter. It's really one of the most annoying things to happen when you are facing against such a gravel ant Axie. But maybe the mosquito can show some promise in this round. Maybe around 12, I expect. But another numbing electrician, and that means there isn't much that the mosquito can do. And unfortunately, that is not going to be around 12. It's pretty much sealed the deal. And never mind, it's not even the Blood Moon Curse, it's just simply the last stand. So victory goes to the numbing electrician, Jayesh. Now we're going to the last and final game, which again we unfortunately could not see, but we're going to watch again. And in the meantime, let me confirm as to who has won. So let us open this game for the last and final leg of actually the final leg, not only the final leg, but the final game of today's stream, because they have managed to reach the 5th decider match, which is what I was actually excited about. So this is the only game where there was all 5 games were played in a what should I explain? In a decisive match, basically. So we are going to look at this entire game in the original speed. The plant already, the mech actually going down pretty early in the game. And now we're looking at the mid liner trying to destroy the plant lineup. And it has been successful, except there is a last stand going on. And there goes the plant. So now this has opened up the entry for the mech, the mid liner and the back liner. I anticipate that perhaps the Graveland is again going to be the nuisance, but in this regard, we have a 2v1 situation. Never mind, it's a 1v1 situation. Now we can look at a ton of debuff going on, clean scent from both the sides. Not only does it debuff, but it also gives a huge amount of armor. And there goes the numbing electrician with a critical of 59 damage, which is pretty interesting. And now there isn't much that can be done by the mosquito. Do we expect around 10, which is a blood moon curse? I guess so, but the cactus does get some opportunity to use a double spiky cactus and a leak. Now it's also taking its turn to dish out the numbing electrician. So now we are into the blood moon curse. Will the mosquito reign supreme, or will it be the numbing electrician, the gravel ant, the spiky, a double mosquito, and a leak? The first spell is going to lifesteal some damage, a double spiky. Now it's a blood moon curse, 50 damage for both the players involved. The gravel ant means that there's very little that the mosquito can do. Now it's going to go full onslaught onto the mosquito plant, and that means Jayesh actually wins and goes through the final round, if I'm correct. So let me quickly go through the scoreboard. It is a 3-2 for the first time in all the games that has happened today, which was a clean sweep, which is 3-0. And now, as you can see, if it is 0-2B, let me just quickly confirm that is Jayesh. Indeed, it is Jayesh that has won through the games. Congratulations, Jayesh. You are the winner of the West. You are the regional winner of the West bracket, and you not only win the 6 AXS, but you also move on into the 2nd of April, which is the main stage event. Right. Mr. Producer, if you were saying something, could you repeat? All right. So I guess we are done with all the games. We had to have a very quick games, unfortunately, because of the fact that we are having a very tight schedule for today. Our producer has have a couple of events that needs to be taken care of. Thank you so much to everyone that has been involved. Our producer, our producer behind the scenes that has been responding to me and doing all the production work is Prophecy himself. Huge thank you to you for helping us sort out through this broadcast. And without further ado, I would like to thank all the fans who has been with us through this ordeal, and also thank you to all the winners that have won. We will notify you about all the necessary details that has to be done for the 2nd of April. You have all deserved a well rest, especially the winners but also the runners up who are unfortunately going home. You deserve a good rest, and you should be proud of the immense progress that you have made so far. Last but not the least, I'm again making the announcement that there is a giveaway for which you will be getting the NFT shoe from G-Donkey. So for that, you have to be part of the G-Donkey Discord server. You have to follow us on G-Donkey on Twitter and retweet the shoe giveaway post. So very easy steps. Just make sure that all the steps have been done, and you are well on your way to become one of the winners if luck favors you. So having said that, I think Mr. Producer, I think we could wrap things up and show all the ads before we end the stream. Thank you so much to everyone. I wish you a very good evening, and we will see you very shortly on April 2nd. Goodbye.
NFTs have now become a mainstream phenomenon, and blockchain games have given birth to metaverses. Gamers for the first time can play games and earn digital currencies, proving to the world that gaming is an acquired skill just like music, sports, and art. With G-Donkey, gamers can play with high-cost NFT assets for free. They share a small profit with the guild. G-Donkey is a decentralized, autonomous organization where its token holders drive the direction of the guild while they stake and earn rewards. Our community of gamers decides which games they want to play. We partner with these games to participate in their IDOs and get early access to purchase their assets, and in return, we provide key insights and develop the content and economies of these games. Being an active part of the community is incentivized with a level-up rewards program for players. With esports at our core, we instill a desire amongst gamers to be a part of a prestigious and the most competitive guild in the world. We bridge the gap between companies and meaningful charity by educating the underprivileged to make use of these games, providing them with a sustainable source of